Are you feeling confused, overwhelmed, and just frustrated with the house buying journey? You're confused, not knowing the first step towards achieving this goal of owning your own home here in Ontario, Canada? Let's talk about it. Hey there, future homeowner. Today we're diving in, looking into the step by step process of buying a house here in Ontario, Canada. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me here, my name is Yashika Turner, and I'm your relocation coach as well as a local realtor here in Hamilton, Ontario. And as I mentioned before, you might be feeling a little bit frustrated, overwhelmed, and confused because you're not sure how to achieve this goal of buying your home. So whether you're a first-time home owner or you're looking to upgrade to another home, you have been through this process before, but you're not sure what's going on, with the real estate market, things change. So let's get right into it. Number one. Number one would be getting your finances in order. So before you get excited and start house hunting, it is a crucial step to assess your finances, looking at your budget, calculating how much your down payment would be, calculating how much you can afford, looking at your credit score, meeting with your mortgage agent to get pre-approved for your mortgage. Now, working with a mortgage agent, the benefit would be that they work with different banks. So working with different banks, they are usually exposed to different rates, and they can see be working with you, being specific to find the best rate for you, the best product for you that suits your needs. So getting your mortgage pre-approved is a first step towards this step. Now, before you meet with a mortgage agent, you need to have some documents on hand. And I did do a previous video before of the processes of applying for your mortgage. You can go and check it out right here. I'll link it here. So these documents would include your pay stubs, your notice of assessment, your credit score, employment letter to confirm that you're employed, showing your salary, your income, and if you're getting childcare benefit, you also need this information too. So it is crucial that you have all these documents, all this information on hand before you meet with your mortgage agent. Being prepared decreases your anxiety, decreases your stress level, and just boosts everything. Let everything flow in the right, in the right emotional state. So you're not feeling overwhelmed. It just helping you with your mental state, right? I like to incorporate mental wellness in everything that I do on this channel. So that's number one, getting your finances in order and getting pre-approved for your mortgage. Now, step two is to find yourself, hire a realtor. Yes, a real estate sales representative. Hi, and that's me. As you know, I'm a licensed real estate sales representative here in Hamilton, Ontario. And the benefit of working with a realtor is that they will guide you along this process. Their experience within this area of real estate, and they can guide you during this step-by-step process. They also help you to find the right property that suits your specific needs and negotiate on your behalf. So hiring a realtor is step two. And in the description below, I will put my information for you to set up a virtual coffee chat so we can discuss your real estate needs. Now, number three. This is where you're going to create your needs and your wants. What are you looking for in a home? And just FYI, your dream home might not be your first home if you're a first-time home buyer. So at times, you go with what you can afford, you go with, because at times you might, and that is one advantage of not starting to looking at houses, going house shopping before you know how much you can afford. Because the next thing, you start going out looking for houses and you fall in love with these houses which might remind you of your dream house, but then when you meet with your mortgage agent, you realize that you're not qualified for that amount to afford that specific house. So it's better to go in phases, follow the steps, so you know how much you're working with, how much you can afford, and then you can find the house that you can afford. So with going through this needs and want list, you might say, okay, how many bedrooms do you want? What would be maybe the, the space, the kitchen? What would be the ideal amenities that you want into the house and around the area? Do you want to live like close to work? Do you want to be in an area where there's school for your kids? So you assess and see what are the neighborhoods that you want to be, what are the needs, what are the wants, and all those things that you need in your first home. Or if you're upgrading, so say for instance, you're upgrading and you're moving from your beginner home to an upgrade. So now you've been in your first home, you know the things that you might can live without, but the things that you really, really need in this new house, write them down. Write them down. You want an open concept kitchen. Maybe you want a finished basement. Maybe you want a walkout basement. Maybe you want a bigger backyard. So you decide what are the things you really, really can't do without, and what are the things you might can say, you know what? I went to look at this house. It doesn't have a big enough spacious kitchen with all the cupboards, but it is within my budget, and it has a 3 bedrooms, it has a 2 bathrooms, and it will work for my family for now. So those are the things that you will have to look into throughout this process. Now, step 4. So after you've gone through with your house shopping with your realtor, looking at all the houses, all the wants, all the needs, and then you really finally find a house that you can afford. You know, sometimes it's not about everything that the house has, it's about affordability. I remember when I was shopping for my first home with my realtor reminded me, I do not want to see you go house poor. We're going to find you a house that is within your budget. At that time, I was qualified for, I think, 290,000. That was in like 2015. Yes, I think it was 290,000 with the bank. And I was like, okay, this is, and she, you know, because as I said, going in the phases, going in the steps, you'll tell your realtor how much you are qualified for and how much, what's your budget limit. So she reminded me, she ensured that we're going to stick to that limit, if not go below it, but we're not going to go above it. Right? And we did that, and we found a property that was within our needs. It didn't have all the things that I wanted at the time, but it was within my budget and it worked for myself and my daughter. At that time, I was a single mom. So going out shopping, finding the right property, and now it's time to put in an offer. Now it's the time to make an offer. So your realtor and yourself will determine on how much are you gonna put an offer in for this property. And that's another advantage with the realtor. The realtor will do an assessment looking at the other houses that have been sold, doing the assessment, and together with your realtor, you both will come up with a suitable price to make this offer. Now, just be warned, at times, not sure at the time when you're watching this video, I think it's more of a balanced market, but there are different times in a real estate market when there is a seller's time and there's a time when there's a buyer's market. So when there's a buyer's market, there is a lot of houses there and you can pick, choose, and refuse. When there is a seller's market, there are more sellers than buyers. So the seller will have the upper hand and there will be more offers being made on this house. Now, it might be there are several different offers on this house and your offer was not accepted. Again, I've been through that when I was buying my first house, right? And I've made like 5 different offers before I finally found a house that the ideal house with the affordability and the amenities of the wants and the needs. So don't be discouraged if you make the offer on a house and your offer is not accepted. So that's the other step, making an offer on the property. Now, the next step, now you put the offer in, your offer was accepted, or maybe your offer might be a conditional offer, which means that you put the offer in, but the offer is not firm and binding until these conditions are met. So now you have to go and remove these conditions. These conditions might include your financing and inspection. Inspection is a very, very important aspect which I would not recommend for you to skip. A lot of times persons might skip this process if it is a seller's market and you want to just put in the highest offer, putting the least condition, so you will be that lucky person to get that house, right? So if there is a condition of inspection, then now you want to go ahead and hire an inspection company to go through the house, inspect it, the plumbing, the roofs, the furnace, air conditioner, and all those things, because the inspector will have a more professional, detailed eyes to detect if there is anything that needs to be adjusted, fixed before you move in. So then you will okay to say, okay, I'm okay with going ahead and purchasing this house. So I'm removing the inspection. Or then you can say, you know what, go back. So your realtor will go back. So say there is a problem with like the roof, or the furnace is old, the air conditioner is old, and you know that in the next year you might need to come up with money to replace the furnace, repair the roof, or something like that, right? So at this time, with the inspection report, then your realtor and yourself can analyze, assess it, and determine, are you going to go ahead, move forward with this purchase, or are you going to go ahead and negotiate, right? So this is when your realtor will step in, go back to the sellers and say, you know what, the furnace or the roof might cost $10,000 to repair in the next year or two. How about we meet halfway, or how about you knock off 5,000 from the price? So that's how negotiation goes, and then you can remove that condition. So now the offer is firm, binding, and it is a legal agreement between yourself and the seller. So that's what is included in the inspection. Now, are you liking this video? Let me know in the comments, where are you in your home buying process? So the next step is to hire a lawyer. It is very important to hire a lawyer to go over the legal steps of the transactions, looking over the contract, going through the title search, ensuring, especially if you have a condo, if you're purchasing a condo, the lawyer will go through that condo document to ensure that everything is okay. Going through with their fine tooth comb to ensure that in the long run, you are not in jeopardy buying this property. Okay. So the lawyer will go through and ensure that everything is okay, right? Green light to go through. Do you hear the birds chirping? I'm out here and it seems like they want to be in a competition with me. There's one up there, one down there. They just take over my backyard, right? But I don't mind. I love it. It's spring, summer, almost summer now, and it feels so good to be outdoors in nature, enjoying. So my birds and I are sharing my backyard today, and they're a part of the video. Fortunately or unfortunately, they are a part of the video here today. Okay, where was I? Yes, the lawyer. That's where we were. Yes, hiring your lawyer. So one step before the closing day is to get your home insurance. Your lender will need to know, you will need this document, this information before closing day. So ensure that you organize and get your home insurance. Now, this is different from the mortgage insurance if you're putting down less than 20%. I think I discussed that in the previous video, but I think I'm going to do another video about all the costs involved in buying a house. If you would like to see that video, let me know in the comments and I'll go ahead and start preparing that video. And hit the subscription button because I'm sure you don't want to miss that video, right? So go ahead and subscribe, and while you're subscribing, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when that video is dropped. Yes, so that is different from the CMHA mortgage insurance if you're putting down less than 20% of the down payment, right? So That is the mortgage insurance. Now comes the closing day. This is the excited day, right? And so usually, I'm just backtracking a little bit. Usually, once you put in the offer goes in, then that is when you determine the closing date, right? And at times, sometimes it's negotiable between yourself and the seller. So the closing day will be coming up. Usually, closing days are usually 90 days, some less. Some can be 30, 60, but most times it's 90 days closing day. So this gives enough time for you to do your inspection, enough time for the lawyer to go through the legal aspects, and enough time to negotiate, right? And for enough time for you to get yourself prepared for moving day, right? Getting all of your address changes, getting your new furnitures if needs be, and just getting, into the groove of that spirit of celebration, right? So closing day, as I said, would include the final signing off of the documents. So you'll meet with your lawyer, as sometimes they'll leave the key at the lawyer's office. So they finalize payment, send over the check to the lawyers, paying over to the seller, and you have your key, and voila, the house is yours. You're now a home owner, right? This is an excited time, I'm sure. So throughout this time, as I said before, you'd usually reach out to change your address, switch utilities, switch maybe schools for your kids if needs be, changing addresses with your work, with your school, and all those good stuff. Usually before the closing date, you'll have your walkthrough, your final walkthrough, to make sure that everything is in alignment, everything is intact as how you went and you saw and you made the offer to purchase a house. So you want to make sure that everything is still in order, right? Everything is intact. And then you go ahead, have closing day, go ahead and ready to move in. Now, it is time to move in. You have all your boxes. You arrange your moving truck, whether you're going to pay for that or whether you're going to have friends and family help you with moving, then it is moving day. Now, don't forget to change your locks. Yes, change your locks. Always safe. Change your locks. Usually, the seller will leave all the keys with the lawyer or sometimes in the lock box, but go ahead and change your boxes. Go ahead and change your keys. Change your keys. And that's it. That's it, guys. Those are the steps that are involved in purchasing your home. Thank you so much for watching, and stay until the end. See you in my next video.